Welcome to the 15th Harbinger, where nightmares take form and reality unravels. Each story is a warning, but will you heed it? Or will you become the next tale to be told? In a quiet village, nestled at the edge of an old forest, there lived a boy named Lucas. He was a quiet child, small for his age, and often kept to himself. From the moment he could walk, Lucas preferred the company of trees and rivers to that of the other children. The other kids in the village found him strange. He was different. They would tease him and call him names, pushing him away when he tried to join in their games. Lucas, ever the solitary soul, didn't mind. The forest was his true home, and there, he always felt safe. One afternoon, as Lucas wandered deeper into the woods than ever before, a feeling of unease settled in his chest. The shadows in the forest grew longer, and the wind whispered strange sounds through the branches. The village was far behind him now, and the path was unfamiliar. But Lucas wasn't afraid. He had learned the forest's ways and knew that if he didn't panic, he would find his way back. Suddenly, there was a rustle in the bushes. Lucas stopped, his heart thumping, and peered into the undergrowth. From the shadows emerged a towering figure, tall, with the body of a man but the long, powerful legs of a horse. Its eyes glowed a piercing yellow, and its long black mane waved in the breeze like the branches of the tallest trees. The creature was a Tikbalang, a spirit of the forest that the elders of the village had whispered about in hushed tones, warning children to stay away from the woods at dusk. The Tikbalang stood motionless, watching Lucas with an intensity that sent a shiver down his spine. For a moment, Lucas froze, unsure of what to do. But then, something strange happened. Instead of fear, he felt an overwhelming sense of calm. The Tikbalang's gaze softened, and in that moment, Lucas knew that this creature was not there to harm him.
Are you lost, little one?
The Tikbalang's voice, deep and rumbling like distant thunder, echoed through the forest. The words sounded almost gentle. Lucas nodded slowly, his voice barely a whisper.
I don't know the way home.
The Tikbalang's glowing eyes studied him for a moment before it stepped closer, lowering its head to Lucas's level.
I will guide you.
From that day onward, the Tikbalang became Lucas's silent protector. Though the villagers never saw it, the creature was always nearby, watching over him. Its presence subtle but powerful. Whenever Lucas was in trouble, whether it was with bullies or wild animals, the Tikbalang was there. It would nudge a rock into the path of an approaching threat, shift the wind to redirect an angry storm, or make sure that no harm came to the boy who had once wandered so lost in the woods. Lucas, as he grew older, never understood why certain things always seemed to work out for him. How he managed to avoid accidents, how he always seemed to find the safest paths, or how, when he was alone, a strange feeling of being watched over would wash over him. But what he didn't know was that the Tikbalang was always there, a quiet guardian in the shadows, ensuring no harm came to him. As Lucas entered adulthood, the teasing from the other children faded away, replaced by the respect that came with maturity. He found work as a carpenter, and the village began to notice how skilled and strong he had become. When he met Maria, a kind and gentle woman from a neighboring village, he married her. Together, they built a family, and soon Lucas was a father, then a grandfather. His life, though simple, was filled with love, and he had everything he had ever dreamed of. But throughout his life, the Tikbalang was always there, watching over him from the woods. No one else saw it, but Lucas in his heart knew it was there. On nights when he could not sleep, he would sit by the window, gazing into the forest, feeling the protective presence of the creature who had been with him since childhood. He never spoke of it to anyone, as he didn't want to seem mad. But in his soul, he carried the secret of the Tikbalang, the quiet guardian who had protected him all his life. Years passed, and Lucas grew older. His hands became worn from years of hard work, but his heart remained full of love for his family. As he lay in bed one cold night, surrounded by his children and grandchildren, he felt peaceful, knowing that his life had been rich with joy. But as death approached, Lucas felt the familiar presence of the Tikbalang standing beside him, though he couldn't see it. He closed his eyes, his body frail but his heart at ease, knowing that his protector was there, as it always had been. And then, in the stillness of the night, Lucas passed away, quietly, with a soft smile on his face. The villagers mourned his passing, but none knew the secret that had kept him safe all his life. No one knew of the Tikbalang who had been his invisible guardian, silently watching over him as he grew from a lonely boy to a beloved grandfather. When Lucas was laid to rest, the Tikbalang stood at the edge of the forest, looking on silently. It had fulfilled its duty. The boy who had once been lonely and lost had lived a full and happy life, surrounded by love, family, and protection. The creature, now satisfied, vanished back into the shadows of the forest, returning to the hidden world from which it had come. To this day, the people of the village speak of Lucas with admiration, though they never truly knew the quiet protector who had kept him safe. They never knew that sometimes the greatest guardians are the ones who walk beside us, unseen, their love and care, felt only in the quiet moments of our lives. And though the Tikbalang may never be seen again, it is said that he still watches over the village, waiting for the next lost soul who needs a silent protector in the shadows.